So, another aspect of this is the revealing of Gnosticism behind the mystery religion. So, we've talked about this before with Gnosticism really being, Gnosticism basically started in the Garden of Eden. The whole thing of if you eat this fruit, if you eat of this tree, you will gain new knowledge, you will gain what is good and what is evil and all this stuff. Well, that's kind of that is what Gnosticism is. It's about reaching that next level of knowledge, that knowledge that the serpent was speaking of. So that's really where it started. And we're seeing Gnosticism go through all throughout these churches, all throughout the entertainment, all throughout politics. It's woven through everything. And it's no different, like I said, as in politics. We have politicians using fake religion to unite under the banner of fixing politics. They always like to entice people. Well, I'm a Christian. I'm a believer. I believe in God. I worship God. And I'm a politician. I can fix this. So follow me. They like to do that. But really, again, what God are they worshiping? I want to introduce you to somebody that you've probably never heard of unless you live in Austin, Texas, because that's where he's at. This is politician. He's a state representative out of Texas, and he's also an aspiring preacher. This is James Talarico. Okay, so again, guys, this isn't necessarily about pointing out specific people. Yeah, I'm doing that too, but this is really going to be, again, focused on what they are pushing, what they are preaching, what they believe in, because this is becoming mainstream out there in all of the churches and whatnot. But meet James Talarico. And you can see this is a Politico article that says he's deeply religious and a Democrat. He might be the next big thing in Texas politics. Deeply religious. Well, being a Christian, being a Christ follower isn't religious. Let's just see what they've got going on with this guy. So this is a lot here. Normally I'd point out specific things, but I want you guys to get a clear view of exactly his beliefs and what he's pushing. So again, he's a politician and he's going to seminary to become a pastor. I believe it's going to be, he'll graduate or whatever in 2025 and be ordained. And that's scary if you hear what this dude is pushing. Sitting in a drab committee room, this is the article last month, James Talarico, among the youngest of the members of the State House, he's 34, was getting fed up as he sat through a hearing on a bill that would mandate the 10 Commandments in every public school classroom in the state. So a dude who's going to school to be ordained as a pastor does not like the fact that they're trying to get the 10 Commandments in public school. A week prior, he sat through a committee hearing on a bill that would allow chaplains to replace guidance counselors. Doesn't like that either. You don't want biblical guidance or anything, even though that's exactly what we need. He was already dreading another floor debate scheduled for the latter in the day for a bill denying gender-affirming health care. No 10 Commandments, no biblical guidance, and he wants gender-affirming health care. Not good. He looked squarely at the bill's sponsor, State Representative Candy Noble, whom he acknowledged as a fellow devout Christian, before letting loose a 2-minute and 9-second exchange that would go viral, TikTok, Twitter, racking up more than 1 million views on Twitter. But he says, this bill to me is not only unconstitutional, it's not only un-American, I think it's also deeply unchristian. Really. And I say that because I believe this bill is idolatrous. I believe it is exclusionary, and I believe that it is arrogant, and those three things in my reading of the gospel are diametrically opposed to the teachings of Jesus. He cited in Matthew 6:5, in which Jesus urges his disciples to not pray publicly like hypocrites. Not sure how that fits, bro. I'm not sure how that fits. So we're already getting a clear understanding of what his belief system is, and it is not Christian by any means. But if we take a look at a quote by James, he says, the thing that warms my heart the most, James told me, is people who say, I'm an atheist, agnostic, or I left the church, or I left religion. But this is, right here, but this is the kind of Christianity I can believe in. This is the type of Christianity I can believe in. There's only one type of Christianity, and then there's false. So he doesn't believe in the true type of Christianity. He believes in a false type of Christianity. In one clip, I've got one clip here of this guy, is one of his sermons. And I'm going to show you that what he believes isn't Christianity at all, but it's actually Gnosticism. It's actually Gnosticism. And guys, remember, just listen to what he says and be blown away. Here we go.
Being Christian and being pro-choice are absolutely consistent because Christianity is a feminist religion. The Bible doesn't mention abortion, although abortions certainly happened in the ancient world. But our oldest scriptures give us a little clue. The book of Exodus says that if a woman has a miscarriage as the result of a fight, the offender should be fined. But if the woman dies, if the woman is killed, the offender should be executed. Our oldest scriptures, 3,000 years old, reject embryonic personhood while affirming female personhood. In fact, modern mass Christian opposition to abortion is a relatively new phenomenon. The Southern Baptist Convention itself was pro-choice until the 1980s. Feminist, womanist theologians are helping us remember Christianity's feminist tradition, a tradition that has been obscured and hidden by generations of men. Did they teach you in Sunday school that men and women are created equally in the book of Genesis? Did they teach you in Sunday school that the Bible sometimes describes God as a female, calling her Sophia? Did they teach you in Sunday school that Jesus Christ himself was a radical feminist? I don't claim to know what Jesus thought about abortion. He never mentions it either, which maybe that should tell us something right there. But what I do know is that Jesus believed a woman is a full person. And that's the definition of feminist.
Less than a 2-minute clip. And he reveals everything. Everything. So, right off the bat, we see he's big on the abortion thing. We don't have time. We could literally do an entire episode just breaking down everything he talks about. We don't have time to do that. So, we're not going to do that. But he clearly starts throwing out lies about abortion. He clearly supports abortion. He's big on all that stuff. But where that Gnosticism comes in, first of all, he's talking about feminism, feminist Christian traditions, and he said Jesus is a radical feminist. Feminism is straight out of Gnosticism. We talked about this on the Unwanted episode. This is not Christian. This is satanic, it's demonic, it's Gnosticism at its finest. Again, going back to the fact of Satan, his target is the women, because he understands if he can get the woman, he can get the man, he can get the child, he can get everybody if he gets the woman. This started, his whole game started when he attacked Eve, when he tempted Eve. That's when it started, and he continues to do it today, and that's what the feminist movement is. So you've got that. Then you've got the fact, this just blatantly gives it away. He said, God is female. Ever heard of Sophia? Again, we talked about this on the Unwanted episode. Sophia, that is Gnosticism. Talk about the Abraxas. You talk about talk about Sophia. You talk about God of the Old Testament, the God that we worship, the Almighty God. Well, according to Gnostics, that's the demiurge, and he's an evil God who trapped us here and all this stuff. Yeah. So he revealed he's a Gnostic. That's his type of Christianity. It's not Christianity at all. It's Gnosticism, which is where pretty much everything stems out of, is that. And so what he's pushing is mystery religion. He's pushing the one world religion. That's what he's doing. It's very obvious where he's pulling his beliefs from, and it ain't Christianity. So remember how I mentioned the messages of the Satanists and the Catholics were merging? It's because the Satanists and the Catholics all stem from Gnosticism. It's the same message. It just branched out with different traditions. And soon, they're all going to come back together. And Catholicism is going to be one of the main ones that leads that. That's why we continue to see these different faiths, these different traditions, these different beliefs, these different religions, all of them starting to merge. They're all starting to push out the same messages because they all branch from the same thing. Again, you've got everything else over here, and then you've got Christianity and Judaism over here. They stand alone, the true Christianity, not his type of Christianity, which isn't Christianity at all. And that's how it's all going to come together.